Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody! Welcome to the stream. Okay, maybe we'll turn these back a little bit here. Alright, I think we got good sound levels here. I'm in real time. Maybe back that one off a teeny weeny bit. And that one off a teeny weeny bit. There we go. I think we got the right sound levels. Think. Whether we actually do. We'll put this mic a little bit up more. There we go. Just give a second here to see. Alright, can hear the squeaky, squeaky, squeaking. So, let me just set this up a little bit better. There we go. Good morning, everyone. It is 8:24 Eastern Standard Time. July 22nd, 2021. Again, hope everyone is well and, hope everything is good in everyone's life. First off, I'd like to say a quick apology to my bud in real life. I kind of said some things that he didn't want publicly revealed, so I was able to go into my last live stream and remove it for him. So if my previous live stream video seems a little shorter, it's because he wanted that information removed from the video. So in the end, the way I clipped it out, it works out pretty much perfectly anyway. So hey, awesome, and sorry again. With that said, another thing off the top that I'm going to mention here is today at around 1:30 Central Time, 1:30 p.m. Central Time, I am going to be joining Basement Guitar Superstar for I believe it's a live stream thing. He's doing it over Zoom, so that's going to be interesting. I look forward to conversing with him and, talking about things. Hopefully, I will be awake, given the way the current weather is in my part of Ontario. It's calling for cloudy times right now. If I open this up, you can see it's relatively sunny, and you can see in the background it's relatively sunny, but the way this weather has been lately, it's been really, really wacky. So it's like not exactly too fun. So I believe my sound levels are good. I believe my video looks good. I know it annoys some people that I'm not looking directly into the webcam or the video properly, but again, got a computer monitor up here and a computer monitor there. So if I'm looking up over this way, it's because I'm looking at, this is where my OBS is, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm looking in proper directions and whatnot. And of course, if you see me looking over in this direction, it's because it's the other monitor and whatever content I am trying to provide or show to you today. So, those few things out of the way. I haven't done one of these videos in a while, and despite naysayers out there, or haters, we shall just obviously call them, they seem to want to tell you, the YouTube user, or otherwise, that you don't need a current high-end or newer computer system to do stuff on YouTube. Well, that's bullshit, to be quite honest with you. Can you use older computer hardware, say 4 years back, to do YouTube and be on YouTube? Sure. Will it get you anywhere on YouTube to do so? Only if you're just a general watcher. If you're looking to at all interact on the YouTube platform, and that's just it, interact, yes, you can use 3 to 5 year old computer hardware and systems on YouTube. Will it give you the best experience? No. But it will give you an experience with YouTube. Just again, not the best. So with that in mind, with the computer market still in a very volatile state, I figured this morning's live stream, we will look at some computer hardware configurations that you, the YouTube user, or you, the consumer, because again, for the most part, I am pro-consumer, that you can look into investing your money into for you to get the best experience. Now, a forewarning here. I am a pro-consumer. I am a advocate and backer of, again, when it comes to pro-consumer products, AMD's technology and hardware, and the Android operating system when it comes to cell phones. The biggest problem, and I'll make this very clear right here, with Intel and Intel and Apple, is that they are pretty much, they give us, the consumer, or in this case, you, the consumer, not the overall control of your product. Now, that said, if all you care about is hitting a button and something turns on, then sure, you won't have any issues in that regard to wanting to do to have your own stuff going on. And Sorry, I'm doing a little. Yeah. Need the coffee. Really, really bad. The luxuries of having ADD inattentive type. Loss of concentration. Again, with Intel and Intel and Apple products, you are limited in your hardware, especially Apple. While Apple does have the advantages of giving you pretty much hit a button, do what you want to do kind of mentality, Apple, you can't do very much with hardware wise in regards to their phone products and their system products. That said, newer Apple products are, when it comes to a PC or computer system, more specifically with Apple, they do offer a little bit more flexibility. But again, at the end of the day, when it is the difference between a PC and a Mac and what you're able to put into said system, you have far more options and far more controllability with a PC than you do an Apple personal computer or Apple computer. So while Apples are viewed as a must-buy by most people that want to do video editing or even audio editing, it really is not the be-all, end-all. And if you have even an inkling about doing gaming, they're not meant for gaming. They're meant specifically for that purpose, more than anything else. Same thing as, while we're at it, I did leave off one thing as well too. The Google Chromebook. You can get a Google Chromebook. Most of them have fairly high-end high-end enough computer hardware in it that, combined with the Google Chrome operating system, which is, I believe, kind of based on Android. I'm not 100% sure on that, but a Chromebook with the right configuration can give you a good YouTube experience at a relatively decent price. It's going to allow you to interact. It will probably allow you to maybe partake in live streams done over StreamYards or maybe even done over Zoom. But otherwise, what it will still lack in regards to YouTube is it will lack the content creation ability. Yes, you will be able to do it, but you are not going to be able to do it as well as a Apple product or more so a PC product based on AMD or Intel. That said, as I lose my train of thought, but see, this is the great thing about live streaming over this platform. You can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do. And, you know, people that can appreciate you not being perfect all the time, that's how it is. And that's really how it should be. You shouldn't have to feel that you have to be 100% polished to actually do something on YouTube or online, period. You know, as long as you're a good human being and you are as you are, you're going to do something, and you're going to make some type of content. And the only way for you to be known or be heard is to make content, whether it be in a positive or negative manner. Hopefully in a more positive manner than a negative manner. Though I do know very many folks from many different circles around YouTube that I've explored and gone around with since being on YouTube since around 2009, to show the level of some people and their toxicity in their personalities and who they are as people. That said, we're going to take me and we're going to shrink me down to a very, 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 very small size. And we're going to take a look at Newegg. So we're going to move me down here, and we're going to go over here. So for the basis of computer stuff, when it comes to personal computer related items, the general default place to look at for deals is Newegg.com. I do not have an affiliation. I do not have a link with, I do not have any type of deal with Newegg.com or .ca. But when you're looking at available computer hardware, Newegg is a good start. I will also say and recommend that Amazon in most instances does offer some pretty good deals on computer hardware. There is other places in the US like Micro Center. Trying to remember one of the old school ones that is still available is Tiger Direct, which were kind of a little scammy, but also known for doing their stuff. They still had decent prices, especially when you bought something in a combo. Another reference for computer hardware deals, and they also do some audio and video as well as some musical related stuff, is BH Photo Video, or let me just pull it over here so you can see it. B&H Photo and Video. This company has pretty good deals on computer hardware as well too. They do photography. They also do their computer stuff, pro video, lighting, pro audio, mobile, TV and entertainment, camcorders, surveillance optics, audio visual, and much, much more. But the primary focus of what we're going to be looking at today will be some computer configurations over the Newegg website. So first off, what I'm going to build here, and again I will preface again, is that I will not, you can be part of that group of individuals that will want to believe the quote-unquote hype of Intel being the one and only. And again, I will say this, and as many smart consumers will tell you, Intel is not the hype. Right now, AMD is actually the hype and the current better provider of computer components right now in regards to processors and motherboards. Again, another reason why I will not fully recommend Intel is because, again, there is no way to upgrade on an Intel platform in regards to an Intel motherboard. The only things you will ever be able to do on an Intel motherboard is add a sound card, change a video card, change your RAM. You will never be able to make your system faster or slower unless it is the same processor tree that is designed for their chipset. That is the one major advantage that AMD has carried on for many, many years now, is an overall commitment to the consumer, offering you a motherboard slash platform that will remain compatible and upgradable over a span of on average, it's a 4-year span is their life cycle on a motherboard and a chipset. Whereas Intel, as soon as a new processor comes out, you're usually going to have to buy the new processor plus the new motherboard, and depending on the technology as well too, you might even have to buy new RAM to put with it. So to those that are cost conscious about the money they spend, that Intel is not a great point in that regard. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Newegg components, and we're going to build a computer. We're going to build a baseline computer for more specifically for people on YouTube or who are going to be using YouTube as the basis of their interactivity, whether it be watching videos or partaking in live streams and the live chats in some live streams. So we're going to look at that aspect, and then we're going to configure it a little bit more powerful. Now, again, before I get started here, another thing I'll quickly address: laptops. Laptops are great when it comes to convenience. What they are not great about is they're not great for morning fartser. Fart I killed noobs. The biggest issue with laptops is they are not going to give you the performance of a desktop. Secondly, they're not also going to have the longevity in regards to using it. Most laptops on average usually have an operating time of about 3 to 4 hours. And if you're actually using the laptop at a really, really high amount of processing power and speed, that's going to reduce the amount of time it runs for. The only time that isn't an issue is if you're going to happen to be around somewhere that has an outlet to plug in the power cord to use on the laptop. But in most instances, you're not going to have a power cord to, a power outlet to plug into. The other issue in regards to a laptop is specifically if you're using the Bluetooth or the Wi-Fi aspect of it, that is also going to consume a fair amount of power as well in your laptop. So laptops as a whole, as a portable occasional device for light use, fine. But for something that you're going to be fairly active on and do a lot of things with, laptops are definitely not what you're looking to get, whether it be an Apple product, a PC product, or even a Chromebook. Call me Noobs, LOL, or Mike. Okay, fair enough. So what I figured I would do for this short little while in this short stream this morning is, again, let us build a couple configurations for a low-end user, a medium-end user, and a high-end user who has some grounds or involvement in YouTube, being a consumer slash watcher slash interactor of YouTube on a low level, and then of course at the high end, someone who actually is a content creator on YouTube. So first up, we want to start with a good computer case. Now, I'm going to try to find a computer case that will allow me to support all our computer components for the varying types of configurations we go through. Now, not everyone is going to like the looks of what I do select for a case, but what I'm going to try to select, actually, there's a very cheap and solid choice right here. This case has a lot of good reviews. The Fractal Design Meshify C, high airflow, compact, tinted tempered glass window. It's a mid-tower case, so it's not something that's gigantic and big that you're gonna try to have a hard time to put around in places. Now, they do offer this in a non-windowed and tempered glass windowed design. Comes with USB 3.0 ports, which is again super important for future proofing. We're going to be able to fit most motherboards. Oh, awesome fart. Or awesome noob. I don't know why I keep saying fart. Yeah, actually, the case I have is a Fractal Design R5 Refined that actually won from Sapphire's Twitch channel when it existed about 3-4 years ago, and I've stripped out most of the cages out of it and let it have a good flow through the front. And considering I'm only running a M.2 drive and a SSHD, which I can put up in the upper part of it. That's all I'm sticking with. So, can get this again in dark. You can get it in a white, which looks actually pretty sharp as well too, but most instances you're also going to get, most people want a dark case anyways, and they don't care about colors. So we're going to go with a good solid case. Of course, we're going to decline that. So a good case is very important that has good airflow. The next biggest thing that is a very important thing when it comes to a computer is a quality power supply. So we are going to want, even though this is going to be overkill, we're still going to want to have excuse me, a power supply in the 800 watt range. So between 8 to 850. So let us actually go with lowest price, and you can see here some really bad power supplies. One of the things you don't want to skimp out on when it comes to your computer, your power supply. Think of it as like your heart. Yes, a Corsair AX 1200 is a little bit of an overkill. Like, not a little bit of an overkill. But, you know, that's fine if you're going to actually, like, run a whole bunch of video cards and crap in your case. So, one of the more proven brands is, in regards to processors, and let me eliminate most of these other ones. The two best makers for power supplies for a computer. I think I might have said processors a bit ago. Oops. Slip of the tongue. Your best power supplies to buy outright are going to be from Seasonic and Corsair. Myself, what I actually have in my computer right now is this one here, the Corsair RMX 850. So I got tons of power there. Another option, again, would be Seasonic. So let's look at Corsair. Has depending on the level of power supply, has between a 3 to 5 year warranty. In some instances they can have up to a 7-year warranty, which is pretty crazy because by the time 7 years rolls around, you're more than likely not going to have the computer. So what we want here, and here's another key thing as well too, when we talk about computers and actually configuring them, we want a fully modular power supply. That's what we see here. We see these little port things here sticking out of the side. What that allows us to do is, when we're putting the computer system together, we don't have to worry about having a whole bunch of wires coming out all over the place. So if we only have one video card If we only have a sound card, we have one external hard drive, and then you have your motherboard. So you only have to have 4 wires connected, whereas non-modular, you have basically a Seattle Kraken going on with a bunch of cables and cords, which make cable management and airflow an issue inside your computer case. So in this case, again, we will go with the Seasonic Focus PX850 Platinum level full modular power supply. Oh, not in this instance. Even though it is a reputable brand, try to stay away from refurbished as much as possible. You will want to have a fully warranted power supply. See, as we see here, it says refurbished and tested, may show slight signs of use, scuffs, scrapes, scratches, dings, dents, paint missing, marks, and or dust. Not in original packaging. Comes sealed in plain box. Stock image used. 14-day computer headquarter warranty. So that's the biggest thing. Mind you though, again, if you're buying a Corsair or a Seasonic, the chances of it crapping out in 14 days are next to impossible. But at the same time, it's a lot better to have the new product than a refurbished one, because the simple fact, again, you want to have a full warranty. So let us actually, well, actually no, it's actually interesting because it actually says here it isn't refurbished. Strange. Here we go. Brand new. Slightly better quality. And again, as I mentioned about warranty, if warranty is your biggest reason for something, here's a great reason about this power supply. So, and there's my alarm to wake up. Too bad I've been up for already like 3 hours. So, as we see up here in the top, platinum. Platinum usually, in regards to power supplies, means like the best you can get. I scared you. Full modular, so you still have the ability to plug your components in. Fan controller in fanless, silent, and cooling mode. So it has, that's the cool thing about this unit, is it has it that you can have it that the fan will stay on, not stay on. Stay on, not stay on. Come on and off when required. It also comes with a 10-year warranty. So in that instance, 10 years, your rest of your computer components are going to pretty much be dead by the time 10 years comes around. No problem. So we're going to go with this power supply in our build. So next up, we're going to want a good motherboard. Again, we're ignoring Intel because, again, Intel won't offer upgradability. and currently are not the better performing processors out there at the moment. So we're going to go with the same motherboard I have. Which we're going to go with Gigabyte. Now, you don't have to necessarily go with Gigabyte. You can go with other brands. One of the big announcements that's came out recently is a very popular brand in the computer hardware industry, EVGA, for the first time ever is actually going to be coming out with Gigabyte X570 AMD motherboards. So let's see now. We're going to want a good motherboard at a decent pricing. So we're going to go full size. Let's see what we got here. I just want to verify something. Okay then. So we're going to want to go with the Aorus Elite motherboard. It gives us one PCI Express 4x slot at the top, two M.2 interfaces for M.2 drives, a second PCI Express 4x slot for if we want to do a 2 video card configuration, which is not necessary, and then 2 more further small PCI Express 1x slots at the bottom. Also, solder capacitors and so forth. So in this instance, it's also I just realized it's an open box. Open box also again is something that can get you deals and can also not be a good idea at times, because sometimes you won't actually get the items in question. So here's another thing as well too. If you want to run your computer wirelessly, this motherboard does give you the option of a Wi-Fi module added to it or non-Wi-Fi diversion. Quite honestly, you're better off to simply buy the stock model without the Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi is just another complication. And most times you are just going to end up needing to buy a better Wi-Fi controller. Exactly, noob. Your CPU and your motherboard are the things that you want to have the best of. So again, going here, we're not doing the insurance aspect of it. But with that said, it probably isn't a bad idea. So we're gonna go. Let's get our desktop memory out of the way first. So we're going to be building a low-end system. I use Wi-Fi, eh? So in this instance, we're going to want decent speed memory, and we're not going to, and since we're actually going to utilize onboard, wrong module, since this is going to be utilizing onboard video, we're going to go with some DDR4 3600 RAM, and we are going to go. A lot of these makers are good. G-Skill is decent. Team T-Force, I had a set of this RAM, which was pretty good as well too. Pretty much when it comes to RAM, your best producers of RAM are basically Corsair and Micron. And Micron is again another one of the Crucial / Micron. They've been around making computer RAM for ages. So we see here we actually got two kits. One with LEG, which let's try not to go LEG. So let's go with some basic DDR 3600 RAM, no fancy RGB lighting or anything on it, and it's good CL16 timing, so it's low latency, and the more lower the latency you can get on RAM, the more it'll actually speed up the way your computer thinks and transfers things. So oddly enough, this is actually the kit down from what I actually have in my computer now. So again, we'll add it, we'll skip the protection plan, but the protection plan isn't a bad idea, to be honest, if it's reasonably priced. And if it's something that, the other thing as well too, the protection plan, if it is one that allows you to send the component back to the manufacturer you bought it from, so in the case of this instance, Newegg, if you can send it back to Newegg, that is to your advantage instead of having to deal with trying to send it back to the actual manufacturer, which is what I'm going through right now with a 32 gig kit of Ripjaw V's from G-Skill. They had to be sent all the way to Walnut, California, which cost me 20 Canadian to do. So there is also another, while I'm mentioning about warranty stuff, let's talk about that for instance. if you can buy from a component manufacturer that is based specifically like in your country, that is also another big advantage because it costs you less to actually return the item for warranty, repair, or replacement. That was kind of the great thing with Sapphire and MSI, I believe it was. Sapphire and MSI, they had warranty return depots here in Canada, more specifically in the Toronto, Ontario area of Canada, so it was very easy to quickly return something and get it turned back around and receive it. So, in most instances, most of the major manufacturers have, for the most part, like Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, most of their warranty depots are based in the USA anyway. So if you're someone in the US who's doing this, it's definitely to your advantage. And excellent point as well, Noob. As he says here, I like to buy the most RAM I can afford. I try to max out the motherboard and the RAM from the start. I found adding more RAM later, sometimes the identical kits don't play well with each other. Great point, and exactly the other issue when it comes to like RAM is you could buy a kit that, say, when you bought it was made with X numbered or number X module in it. You might see the same kit of RAM and be like, oh, well, I can buy another kit of this RAM. It's the same RAM, and put it in and find out it's not compatible because what's happened is the RAM manufacturer has used new modules in it, which then in turn the new module might not be compatible with the old module, so you'll run into issues. So let's see, we've gotten our, let's go our processor now. So again, we're not going Intel. Yes, Basement Guitar Superstar. I actually did announce that early at the beginning of the stream. So, as far as I know, should be good to go for that. So again, in this case, we are going to be looking at going with integrated video. So integrated graphics, AMD. So actually, let's check this off and let's actually try to go with better graphics. And let us try to go in a higher range. Okay. Nice. Noob. Yeah, sometimes that's kind of the cool thing too. Like when you do an upgrade for yourself, sometimes you can actually hand it down to a family member. Or in a lot of instances, like I do myself, I I actually sell off the existing hardware that's still running, get the most I can for it, and use it as part of the money towards the upgrade to the newer component. In the past, that usually works well. So let's see now. Oh, nice. So we're going to go within this instance, and as we just found out here, we're going to go with a Ryzen 5 3400G quad-core processor, which means it has 4 cores, 8 threads, and as we find out here, it has Radeon RX Vega 11 graphics, which will get us by for general 2D and 3D graphics, as well as some light gaming. And as we also find out here, it also comes Windows 11 supported. So that's awesome. And for that reason, it will do basically everything that we need it to do. So let's check out our cart now. So we have motherboard, tower, power supply, RAM, and processor. We're now only missing out on basically one component at this point in time, which is you need an operating system to put onto your computer. So again, we will look at internal hard drives, and we're going to want actually wrong. Yes, actually it does come with a cooler, which will be fine because in this instance we're not going to be doing a whole lot. Rex effects, my mic shouldn't be muted. Everything seems to be coming through fine. Yep, nope, it's coming through. You must have me muted. So we're gonna want to go. Let's see here now. SSD, no. Oh, okay, basement. I wasn't sure if it was going to be live or if we're pre-recording it. All good. For some reason it's being real finicky. Let's see here. We want to. There we go. We want to utilize on this motherboard a PCI Express 4.0 drive. Basement Guitar Superstar doesn't matter if you have a big following or not. You can get the free version of StreamYards, and that'll do you for the time being. So in this case, we want to go with something, because we're going to do away with a backup drive for the time being in this system. And we're going to go with a Western Digital Black SN850 1 terabyte drive for our operating system and general usage. So we will add that to cart. No, we will not do that. So let's do a recap here. We have our computer tower. We have our motherboard. We have our power supply. We have our RAM. We have our hard drive. We have our processor. So this is basically what will give you decent performance in interacting in regards to YouTube. Some light gaming as well too, because of the Radeon RX Vega 11 onboard graphics. You have what in it that your PC won't recognize, noob. So this is a little pricey, but again, at the end of the day, the fact is, when you build it yourself and configure it yourself, you can optimize your components that are being put together into a system, which is usually the problem in regards to when you buy a whole computer system from Dell, like a Dell or an Alienware or EBS or whatnot. A lot of these companies, they don't look to give you the best components. What you'll find in a lot of these pre-built systems, even those that are here on Newegg that you can buy, they will give you usually bare bone, and more so in the case of with Dell, generic systems and generic parts that are not optimized for to have the best performance. So when you buy your individual components like this, you do realize you usually get the best performance. So in this configuration, you get a baseline system with decent value, decent performance, but the biggest aspect of all is the upgradability. I also didn't add Windows to this, which you can buy if you actually want to buy it on an M.2 drive, but a little bit of a hint here is you can actually buy your Windows OS for like around $20 to $30 online, which just gives you the key. You go to Microsoft, you download the image, put it on and you put it on a little bootable USB drive like this, and you go off to the races. You put it in the thing and you can install your Windows, put in your CD key, and off you go. Hello, Genevieve Freya Rose. So again, we have here a base system that has a quality base to it and expandability. It's a little pricey, and in this case, you have to assemble it yourself. And let me say this, there is enough videos online for you to be able to assemble a computer system. There's enough people out there. And also at the same time, as long as you can read instructions well, hell, if you can put Legos together, you have the ability to build a PC. So there's no excuse why you can't build your own computer. The other biggest advantage as well too for building your own computer is when there does become a time if something isn't working right or something actually fails, like a processor or a video card or something, you have the ability to actually pull the component out yourself, put it back in the box, and send it to the manufacturer or the place you bought it from, like in the case if you get the extended warranty. Ooh, yeah, that would have been an adventure. TD TRS-80 and soldering the components together. So here's a base interface or a base system that you build yourself, and you get good base quality components with lots of expandability, and you have the ability to do most interacting and such on YouTube. You'll be able to do some light gaming and like esports titles on it. And still leaves your room for gradability. So this is $1,112.93 US. Converted to Canadian, that's about 14, maybe 1,300 Canadian. So it is pricey, but again, a lot of these things are good components that have optimized qualities, will give you optimized best performance and configuration when you have a computer system versus funny. So here's what we got for the base system. Now, what can we do as a upgrade to this to put us more into a middle tier and will allow us to become a little bit more of a content creator on YouTube, as well as a little bit better for gaming? Green stamps. So we don't need to touch the case. We don't need to touch the motherboard. We don't need to touch the power supply. We don't need to touch the RAM. And we don't need to touch the solid state M.2 drive because it's already one of the high end best ones you can actually get on the market. So that's the other big advantage right now, is with M.2 drives and a motherboard and a system that actually utilize this specific PCI Express 4.0 standard. And right now that is still only the AMD platform, no matter what the current 500 series chipsets are. They still can utilize this, so you get an extreme amount of performance in data flowing back and forth. So, okay, so now what we're going to do here is our first move to make this, again, a more middle tier system for use on YouTube. Now, unfortunately, video cards are at a really bad pricing right now. So we're going to want to stick to 8 gigs RAM. As it thinks. Yeah, I'm sure people are sitting around have like $2,000 to $3,000 to actually get a 3090, or let alone have the ability to get one. Wow, it doesn't like 8 gig video cards. Let's try this again. Desktop graphic cards. Yeah, considering that card pretty much would build you a mid-tier system in on itself. So let's try 8 gig again. There we go. So we are going to go lowest price in this instance. Okay. Tesla video graphic cards. Hey, God loves me. Good morning. So I am going to again sit in the camp of AMD, because as far as I'm concerned, AMD has better Are we shipping? I'll take diamonds. That might take you being my wife before that occurs. That's awesome. Okay, so in this instance, also what's a good thing is we actually might have availability. Shopping. Yes, I am actually doing a real-time computer build for people that want to have computer systems for using YouTube, or eventually getting into content creation on YouTube. So I've got some folks yeah. So the biggest thing here is availability. And as we can see here, as we scroll through, there is not too many video cards that are available at the moment. So we want decent card, but not at an unreasonable price. So actually, we do have a decent kind of card here at a decent price. So what we have here is a Radeon RX 5500 XT series. This will give us very good performance in 1080p resolutions, as well as if you decide to utilize something like Windows Live Media, or sorry, Windows Live Movie Player, or any type of thing that does video encoding, you'll benefit from that. Yes, that very much is true. Noob. If a lot of this stuff wasn't sourced outside of the US, it would be more readily available. So we've added a video card. We want to actually add a sound card, because while onboard sound is decent, it is not the be-all end-all. So what we want here is a PCI Express one-time sound card. So it's the little teeny weeny slot near the bottom of the motherboard that I was showing you. It'll go in there. So we go low prices again, and if we want a decent sound card, that's what she said, or that's what God Loves Me said. In this instance, we're not going to go a high-end sound card, but we're going to go a sound card that will give us good general sound and has a good sound chip in it. And I've had one of these in the past, and it was a really good card until the one that I just upgraded to. And the other big thing with it is there's no kind of hiccups like the Creative cards have had with the Windows interface. For some reason, Creative has a real issue with the UI in Windows, so it was giving people a lot of headaches. So to avoid that, and the other great thing about this card too is it's better than onboard sound, and it's only $40. You can't go wrong with that. So that's added to it. So let's see now. We've now got our, everything is changed. We've now added a sound card. We've added a video card. Now, our last thing to do to make this a little bit of a better system is we no longer have a need for the onboard video that's in the processor. So we will remove it, and we will actually step up into something more decent that will give us something to utilize the system better. Right now, here's the situation. Like, let me just change that over here. That. M4. We're going to be going with the current AMD processors. So here's our issue. we can go two routes here. We can go 6 cores, or we can go 8 cores. 6 cores and 8 cores, the performance difference is here nor there. The thing what we want to do in this instance, though, is do we want to take advantage of multitasking? Are we at a point in time of thinking of, again, I have one display. Would a second display do me better? And in that instance, when you start, if you start doing multitasking itself on one screen, then probably in that instance, you're going to probably be fine with the 6 core, as long as you're not going to be doing more than, you know, a couple web browser tabs open with YouTube and some light gaming. In this instance, though, the problem is as well too is there is a availability issue that is still kind of going on with some of these units. In this instance, what I think we're going to do is, again, we're going to do the system for mid-range performance. And right now, the Ryzen 5 5600 is the best mid-range performance right now. So we now come to a total of $1,875.10 US. This configuration now, which is based on the previous configuration, except the changes we've made has been giving it a better off-board graphics card with 8 gigs of RAM, and it should give us great performance in 1080p resolutions, whether we're gaming or whether we're watching YouTube content or otherwise. We've also moved off of the onboard sound with a more dedicated, better performing and higher quality sound card. And we've also moved up to a processor that not only removes the onboard video, but gives us 2 more cores and 2 more threads for more encoding and multitasking performance. And again, it is pricey, but again, if you base it on this configuration, you are not going to have any problems doing anything, and you're going to be able to get into the entry level beginning of being a content creator on YouTube and creating your videos. You'll have no problems recording videos and rendering out videos and uploading videos, barring you have a good video source, like a good webcam, like a Logitech C920, and you also have a awesome internet connection that gives you at least 10 megs upload. So let's see. So now let's really push the limit on things. Oh, sorry, I forgot one other important thing here. This processor does not come with a... Oh, I'm wrong. Maybe it does come with a fan. If it comes with a fan, then I guess we don't need to buy one. So that's a bonus. Silly. So yes, this one that I got here does actually come with a cooler. So bonus, because these didn't necessarily, sorry, the 3600X does come with a stock cooler. The 5800X and higher systems, or sorry, higher AMD processors do not come with a cooler. You actually have to buy a secondary cooler. So in that instance, we'll actually look at that here in a second. So with that said, now let's move things up a little bit more. So we got a 6-core processor in the system, but we really want to be able to game. We really want to be able to have faster performance for content, and we really want to, more so, we want to be able to live stream not only to YouTube, but maybe even to other platforms like Twitch and such. So for which we need a higher-end processor. And in this case, we will actually go up to the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. '12-core processor. Now, this isn't the best processor that you can get from AMD, but it's never a bad thing to be putting the second best processor from whatever manufacturer into your system. So we have 12 cores, 24 threads. You will be able to do literally anything you want on this computer with this in place. So let's pull the previous 5600 out. Now we can move on from this RAM, and we can go with a nice kit of DDR 4000. So let's see what we have for options here. So I'm not gonna go 64 gigs, because what we're looking at here is we want speed over capacity in this instance. So this is actually the kit I have right now in my computer. Crucial Ballistics Max, DDR 4000, CAS 18, 32 gigs. So that's what's running in my computer right now, and it's running at 4 gigahertz. So, and it's a good price, $373. And this, of course, has lifetime warranty. So you don't have to necessarily get warranty, get the store warranty in it, because more than likely, if you're building this system on building it and you live in the US, Micron is actually in the US, and their return centers are, I think there's 2 or 3 of them in the US. So let me make sure that we got the slower RAM out of the way. Next, we are going to want to remove the sound card, the basic sound card, and we're going to want to go to something that is a little bit more peppy, a little bit more in performance. So we're going to want PCI Express 1 times. We're gonna go 8 channel sound, but not, okay, well, maybe not 8 channel sound, we'll go 7.1. And we're going to go with we're not going to go with the $500 one. Hey Charles 75, thanks for popping in and saying hi. Hope you have a great day. We're not going to go off the $500 option. That's definitely quite ridiculous. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with this version here for $89, and this will have, as you can see, all kinds of lovely technology in it. Yeah, do it. Here's the inherent problem, though, in regards to why you don't want the $500 sound card. Because in regards to whether you're doing content creation or video, well, content creation, whether it be audio or video or whatnot, at the end of the day, your sound card is really only going to be for what you hear and what is coming out of your system. Which some people will say, oh, well, then you can just use onboard sound. Well, no. Onboard sound will not. Onboard sound will color and distort what you're actually trying to do. If you want to hear in the best quality range of what you will actually be uploading to YouTube or streaming the YouTube, you want to have the nice sound card to hear. Especially when it comes to doing your videos, because at the end of the day you're going to use a DI box anyways for your mic input, so you're not going to be using the mic input on the sound card whatsoever. You're just basically using it for audio out to a nice set of, say, EMIs, in-ear monitors, IEMs, or however you pronounce it, or a really good set of over-the-ear hi-fi headphones. That's the only reason why you want the decent sound card. So in that instance, that's why these gaming sound card things are actually good, because you get the higher end bit rate going on. So now let's see what we're up to here. So we got better sound card. Remove the old one. Now, another thing I did actually forget in the previous build is we wanted to put a external, not external, but a non-M.2 drive as a swap drive / data backup drive. So we're going to do that in this part though. So we still are going to leave our 1 terabyte PCI Express 4x drive, because it still has the performance that we're going to need for it to have your OS on. Some of your things, like if you're going to be doing your gaming, you're going to have your gaming, what is it, like Steam, your gaming clients. A lot of gaming nowadays, the companies are running through clients, or throwing an individual client which will actually run on your main operating system. Where you don't want your games to exist is on your main operating system drive, because most games in this day and age are minimum 30 gig installs. And even on a 1 terabyte drive, even though you'll get the best performance for load times on that thing, you start stacking up 30 to 120 gig games, you're only going to be able to put a few games on your system. So you want to have a large backup drive for backing up your game storages, as well as maybe backup in personal things. So in that regard, what we're going to do is we are going to go with an actual dedicated hard drive. And we're going to look at 2 to 4 terabyte hard drives. And we are only going to look at, which is a little biasy, but when it comes to hard drive manufacturers, the only drives you want to be dealing with are basically Western Digital and Seagate. They are the two best hard drive manufacturers out there on the market. So in this case, we are going to want in this instance in Western Digital you want a black drive. In the case of Seagate, the drive you want more specifically, let me remove that and let me get rid of these larger hard drive sizes because they're not applicable. So we're going to go Seagate, and there's a reason why we're going Seagate. If I can find it. Seagate we want to go with, yes, Barracuda, but Barracuda is not the drive that we want though. We want, and they're not showing up here, but they are out there. The drive in question we want that's not it. Don't know why. Apparently they don't have them. There we go. This is the drive in question that we want. Why do we want this drive? Because it is a hybrid drive. What do I mean by hybrid? The hybrid aspect of it is this. The front end that interfaces with your computer is actually a solid state drive. So it has a larger cache. It'll go faster to your system. And as it says here, faster load times for non-stop performance and play. 5 times faster than a 7200 RPM drive, because what it does is, if I remember correctly, it has a 64 gig cache in the front part of it where the SSD is. What it'll do is it'll actually take stuff, if you're using something that's consistent, it'll shove it into that SSD part of it. So when you come to access it, it'll actually pull from the SSD. So it'll pull fast and you'll get it quicker. Yes, preloads, thank you. So it'll preload it quicker, so that way you get it a lot quicker than you normally would if it's on the back end. And if it's something that doesn't get used too often, it'll put it into the back end. Or in the case of, say, like these video games, where actually, as it says here, with the 2 terabyte drive, you'll be able to put 80 25 gig games on it, which still is kind of crazy. Myself, even on my own Steam client, I only keep about maybe 10 games installed on my FireCuda drive. So I mean, you're only going to keep the more you can keep less games on your system, the better it's going to perform and not be bogged down. So the big thing with this is you could even foreseeably use this as a boot drive, but the real intended reason of this is for it to be a fast caching storage drive. And as it says, gaming, meaning when you have a bunch of games that are like, for example, what you can then do is you won't see this, but so I have currently the Uplay game client, I have the Origin game client, I have the Steam game client, I have the Epic Games launcher / game client, Rockstar Games launcher game client. So there's 5 clients. So just imagine trying to put 5 clients of games onto, say, like a small 1 terabyte drive. It won't work, especially if you have the money to buy games readily enough and you actually buy 2 to 3 a month. And again, they're going to be between 30 gig and 100 gig. It's not going to take long. Thanks, Noob. Hope it goes well at your doctor's appointment. And thanks for dropping by. So, the big thing here is this. I'm going to be able, with one of these, or if I get really ingenious or in intent to having the be-all, end-all, let's, for argument's sake, we'll actually go 2 of these drives, which can be put into a RAID configuration, but it's an awfully complex thing and we won't even go there at this point in time. But we're going to go 2 of these. So what that is going to enable us to do is it is going to allow us to take the 2 drives. We will be able to have, we can run them. One is a total game install dump system or file system kind of storage thing, and we can have the second one as a cache buffer / backup for any video editing or family photos and so forth. We can do it that way, or we use both combined to say, like, I put Steam and Origin game backups on one drive, put Uplay and, say, Epic Games client on the other drive. Helps in that regard to do that. So we're going to do that. We're going to put 2 of these in for backup purposes. So the only thing we have left now is video cards. And we are going to, let's clear some of these tabs. Another thing too, when you have 32 gigs of RAM, you can run tabs for days upon days upon days. Like, I think somebody took a 32 gig kit and ran what was it now? They ran a bunch of tabs to see how many tabs they could open before the RAM got maxed out of the 32 gigs. And I believe the amount of tabs that they were able to open was somewhere around the 2,200 tabs. So, yeah, just imagine. Hey, John Doe. Long time no see. So now, again, what we're going to do here is now we're going to look for a high-end video card that is in stock, which is, again, the biggest problem right now. Processors and video cards are the hardest things to come by right now, especially video cards because of all the Ethereum and Bitcoin mining that's going on. Both companies are currently slammed by a lot of the Asian Bitcoin farmers buying up the video cards and using them to farm Bitcoin and Ethereum and the likes of digital currency. So in this case, we're going to try our best to find reasonably priced and reasonably good performing video card. In this case, I think we actually might have only given us the one choice. And this card is a good price. ASRock's decent. Apparently it also comes with a ASRock X10 IoT router. Not bad. So this card is 2 down. Asymmetry. So this card is 3rd lowest from the AMD side of graphics cards, but this you're going to be able to play any type of 4K gaming on. You're going to be able to do 4K content rendering out on it as well too. So we'll remove the gigabyte option, and instantly we see a big time drop in price. So now what we're left here with is a system that you'll have no problem doing YouTube content, whether it be creating videos, rendering them out, and uploading them, again, barring you have the right connection with the right upload speed. You'll be able to do any high-end gaming. You'll be able to do any live streaming in the best quality possible that you can put out with no frame drop. Your audio, you'll actually be able to do your recordings. And quite simply, this will be a system you'll be able to do anything on. And the system will last you at least 5 years. At least. Because the system is so high end in the amount of cores it has, in speed, it just will have every reason to not do anything you wouldn't want to do over the next 5 years, whether it be in relation to YouTube or otherwise. And again, you want to probably make this the best you'll probably want to do is do 2 screens. So let's add that megatasker aspect to it. And let's actually, so we'll get rid of that. And we will look at adding, let's see here now. Oh, don't tell me it's buried. Yeah, they bury it. For some reason. Let's go up into the keyword search thing here. Instead, yes, exactly. Symmetry. You don't even need, and that's kind of what I did too. That's what I've got. I've got 3600X. The only difference is I got a Sapphire Nitro Plus 590 Special Edition video card, and there's not much I can't do on it. So I configured it. Let us go. We're gonna go gaming monitors. So let's see now. We're not gonna go humongous. We're gonna stay in the 27-inch range. We're gonna want at least, once the site stops searching, we're going to want at least 144 hertz. And we're going to want a decent brand name. So in the 27-inch range, we're going to go to 1440, which is 2K, which is between 1080p and 4K in resolution. We're going to do DisplayPort, and why not go with Samsung, as it's a good price. Weird that I'm getting a bit of lag in that regards. Well, I got no dropped frames here according to OBS. So everything's good. It's just, I guess, their website. Alright, so we're going to go 2 of these monitors. So here's our good thing I just thought about that. did forget one major thing in this. Need a cooler. Definitely need a water cooler. In this case, we are going to go actually, boy, new Excite is like just crapping it like crazy. So I believe we're going to want we're going to want 240 or 280 mil. Ooh, nice symmetry. So let's keep it simple while not being too funky with lighting and such. We'll add the Corsair Hydro Series H100X 240mm CPU cooler, because after all we are running 12 core processor, so we'll put better onboard or better cooling. So now we've done it. Let me read this right correctly, God loves me. Pacifier, diamond. Pacifier, diamond. Pacifier, diamond. No problem, Symmetry. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day at work. So, here we have an almost completed system. I'm leaving you the choice of getting your own keyboard and mouse for it. But this system itself, while very pricey, is going to last you 5 years. There's not much you're going to be able to not do on this system. Yes, Noctura are also awesome air coolers. I agree. Wish I could afford them. So this system, you're going to be able to do anything you want in regards to YouTube. Anything you're going to want to do in regards to gaming. Anything you're going to want to do in regards to live streaming. And general everyday usage. It's overkill for general everyday usage, as it is. The 6-core AMD processors are even overkill for general everyday usage, because most people only browse the internet, do a little bit of word processing, minor stuff like that, which a 4-core processor and a low-level type of RAM or low-speed RAM will get you by with doing. But again, like myself, I run varying things. Like I said, on average, I run 2 browsers. In the one instance of the Chrome, I have 3 tabs, usually always 2 tabs running at the same time for my email. And in regards to Mozilla Firefox, I usually have 2 instances open. One with Facebook, occasionally GG, and maybe other things I research or want to get information on. And then on the other side, which is basically I have, 3 instances of Mozilla/Firefox. The one for the Facebook and general searches. I have another one that actually is Twitch. It shows the live feeds from Twitch in. And then the third Mozilla Firefox, I run about 3 tabs, one having my Gmail, one having my studio interface for the YouTube channel, and then the third one is actually a tab that actually shows all my subscription feeds so I can see what's coming in. And with the system here in question, again, you add your own headphones of your choice, keyboard and mouse of your choice, plus the Windows OS, which is like, you can get anywhere between $15 to $30 for the key to get it, put it on your system, and there's not a thing you would do or be able to do. Heck, you put this on, say, the Tone King or especially Steve from Boston's fiber connection. Yeesh. There wouldn't be a single thing you couldn't do, or you'd almost be able to stream in 4K, especially on Steve's fiber connection with this type of component. If you're able to find a 4K video camera, which would be not easy, and they're pretty pricey as far as I know. So again, I'll slowly scroll through the list. You have your case, Fractal Design Meshify C. Again, you can get it in white with a clear glass or no glass side at all. Gigabyte X570 Aurorus Elite motherboard based on the AMD X570 chipset. ASRock Challenger D Radeon RX 6700 XT 12 gig video card, which is available from Newegg at this point in time. Again, getting a high-end card to begin with is hard, and the fact to find one available and actually under $1,000 is a bonus. It'll probably be like sold probably by the time anyone gets around to watching this, so they'll probably be whatever. Also, the additional bonus of they give you a Wi-Fi, a pretty high-end Wi-Fi router as well too, as a free item, which is even more awesome. Saves you from having to go buy a Wi-Fi router. Nice, powerful Seasonic Focus, 850 watt platinum level, fully modular power supply. You can run anything pretty much on that power supply. The AMD Ryzen 9 5900X Vermeer 12 core 24 thread processor. Again, mega tasking monster, mega rendering monster. Paired up with the nice 32 gig kit of DDR4 4000/4 gigahertz memory. While it's not as much as having 64 gigs, this is that perfect blend of a nice high amount of RAM with a nice high speed to it. 2 Samsung G5 Odyssey 27-inch monitors with nice 144 hertz resolution, display port to run into the back of your video card. Again, beautiful experience for your computer, whatever you're doing on it, video editing, audio editing, gaming, live streaming, you name it. Good, solid water, all-in-one water cooler to help keep the cores on the 12 cores on the 5900 cool. Good price, good brand name of Corsair, backed up by 3-year warranty. So if the pump ever fails and /or takes out components, if I remember correctly, the Corsair warranty will actually replace those components that get damaged from water coolant spilling out from it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but as far as I remember, I believe that's how their warranty works. You have a Western Digital Black SN 850 1 terabyte PCI Express 4.0 4 times M.2 drive for your operating system, for your video editing software, for your audio software, for your gaming clients, everything. No issues whatsoever. You have a still relatively cheap, but still relatively high-end 7.1 surround sound card to get all the beautiful sounds out of your gaming and for all the videos that you're trying to put out to YouTube. And lastly, 2 Seagate FireCuda Gaming SSHDs, which will be perfect for when you to use as a buffer drive for your video rendering, your video work, your picture work, your audio work, as well as to put your to put your games that you get from your game clients. You can store them on these drives. They'll actually move faster, and they will not slow down your main Samsung drive as your operating system drive. That said, I've been streaming for another 2 hours. Thank you for all the awesome people that have stopped in to say hi, make a comment, interact with me, hear what I have to say, and thank you to everyone that actually watches this video again, as it'll be up later on the DVI side of things, or DVR side of things, and will be available on the channel. Let me pull myself back into frame now. Beep. So again, thank you everybody for that's joined me. I hope you all have an awesome day. I hope you are all doing well. And remember, God loves me wants diamonds. See you later, folks. Bye for now.